History Project is designed to be, over the long term, a multimedia living history. It collects the histories of individuals who have participated in the recovery and rehabilitation of Hurricane Katrina, as well as those who have been involved in various social justice activities that have stemmed from the hurricane, such as police brutality and the need for adjusting education and also women's health issues that have arrived, as well as some criminal justice issues as well. The project at this point is focused on a core of long-term workers, individuals who have been involved in components of that work for 6 months or more, some of them for, 2005, 8 years at this point. And we have a few major organizations to work with left. We finally got to Habitat for Humanity, need to get to the St. Bernard Project, need to get to the New Orleans Women's Shelter, but that should be done by the end of the fall. And at that point, we'll have a core set of interviews that are approximately about 42 at this point. And so with that first phase done, we'll start going into the multimedia production aspect of it. And so with that first phase done, we'll start going into the multimedia production aspect of it. That component will involve building an interactive website that will house the transcripts in full so they can be read online, as well as the audio and the video when appropriate. Transcripts will be done for the most part verbatim to allow individuals to listen and read as it goes along, or listen, read, and watch if that's something they choose to do. And we're also going to have photographic documentation of people's experiences, not so much their participation, because the various interviewees have been asked to donate pictures that they think describe something that's key to their experience there. So it's not so much documentary evidence as evidence of their sort of subjective experience of having been in New Orleans and what it means to them. That's also going to be housed online. The NOLA Oral History Project is designed to be, over the long term, a multimedia living history. It collects the histories of individuals who have participated in the recovery and rehabilitation of Hurricane Katrina, as well as those who have been involved in various social justice activities that have stemmed from the hurricane, such as police brutality and the need for adjusting education and also women's health issues that have arrived, as well as some criminal justice issues as well. The project perception of the event when I was there in 2008 was that it reminded me of others' historical observations of the civil rights movement. The membership was largely young, like the civil rights movement. They were largely European American. They were largely not from the South. They were very enthusiastic. They romanticized to a certain extent being in the South and Southern people. All the participants, without regard to their ethnicity, there tended to be a degree of disorganization and making up things on the fly, like the civil rights movement, but as well as a really high level of idealism and a strong connection with the people that they were serving. So that was a historical observation. And I was reminded of the sort of, what seems to me, I might be wrong on this, but what seems to be the lack of large databases of the experiences of civil rights folks at the time. We have memoirs and biographies of people since. We also have oral histories of people that were taken years after the movement, but we don't have a lot of oral histories of people at the time they were in the movement. So I thought that might be something to rectify right here. And so that historical observation influenced me in that way. But the most rewarding part of working on the project is the feeling that you make when you connect with an interviewee and they believe that what they are telling you will make a difference for things that they care about. And it's both of those. When you get those simultaneously, that is a feeling that you can't get from doing traditional history in the archives. I mean, no matter how many times I've been in the archives, I've never been like, wow, this really connected to this file folder here. This congressional document makes me feel real warm and fuzzy right now. That just doesn't happen. I began to feel a certain degree of anxiety that I really wasn't doing anything for anyone that was valuable. I mean, I enjoy teaching my students and everything, but it's like, what are you really doing? You know, why'd you spend 8-9 years getting a PhD so you can just sort of be a professor and not really make an impact, which is what you want to do in the first place. So when I was in New Orleans, it was apparent to me that I was in no way suited to be a long-term volunteer. It was really hot. I don't like painting. Lead remediation is hard. You have to wear like these hazmat suits and masks, and it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside. And I was like, all right, 2 weeks of this is great. It's not for me. So what can I be doing with what I do have expertise in to do a positive good? And when I thought about I didn't have a name for it, but when I thought about the NOLA Oral History Project, it kind of became clear to me that if this project is done well, it can continue to draw attention to what's happening in New Orleans. In addition to that, it can serve as a motivation for other people to go to New Orleans. And if not New Orleans, motivate people to be involved in social justice in their own communities, while simultaneously meeting academic needs of documenting the process. So when I chose to come to Loyola, part of what attracted me to Loyola compared to the other place that I had a job offer was its emphasis on social justice. And knowing that, I felt comfortable doing that project here.